Across the vast expanse of North America, hidden in plain sight, lie ancient wonders that baffle archaeologists and ignite the imagination. Who built these enigmatic sites? Why were they abandoned? And what secrets do they still guard? Today, we'll uncover 20 of the continent's most fascinating ancient mysteries. So sit back, relax, and join us on this journey into the unknown. Cahokia Mounds. Let's start in southern Illinois, just a short drive from modern-day St. Louis, Missouri. Here you'll find the Cahokia Mounds, the largest archaeological site north of Mexico. Spanning nearly 6 square miles and boasting over 100 earthen mounds, this was once the thriving heart of a pre-Columbian civilization. Cahokia was built by the Mississippian culture between AD 1050 and 1200. At its peak, this city, yes, a city, was home to around 20,000 people, making it larger than London at the same time. The centerpiece of Cahokia is Monk's Mound, a staggering structure that rises 100 feet high and covers 14 acres at its base. Imagine the effort required to build such a massive earthwork without modern tools or machinery. Surrounding Monk's Mound were wooden palisades, ceremonial plazas, and densely packed residential neighborhoods. But here's the mystery. By AD 1350, this once great city was abandoned. Why did such an advanced society disappear? Mainstream archaeologists point to resource exhaustion, deforestation, and overpopulation as likely causes. The environment around Cahokia may simply have been pushed to its limits. Others suggest climate change, particularly a series of prolonged droughts, might have made life unsustainable. But not everyone agrees. Some researchers propose that internal conflict or invasions from neighboring groups played a role. And then there are the spiritual explanations. Did Cahokia's decline coincide with a loss of faith or astronomical disruptions that shook their worldview? And while we can piece together some answers, many questions remain. What do you think? Could the rise and fall of Cahokia hold a warning for our own cities? Serpent Mound. Next, we travel to the rolling hills of Adams County, Ohio, where an extraordinary structure snakes across the landscape. Measuring an impressive 300 feet in length, Serpent Mound is an effigy mound shaped like a coiled serpent. Archaeologists believe this site was constructed by the Adena culture over 2,000 years ago, though some argue it could be the work of the later Fort Ancient people. What's undeniable is that Serpent Mound reflects a deep understanding of astronomy. The serpent's coils align with the summer solstice sunset, the winter solstice sunrise, and other key celestial events. Imagine the knowledge and planning it took to create such a precise alignment, all without telescopes or modern instruments. So what was its purpose? Was it a ceremonial site? A celestial calendar? Or could it have been a sacred symbol to honor the serpent as a powerful spiritual figure? And here's where the mystery deepens. Why would a culture dedicate so much effort to creating this shape? Mainstream theories suggest it was a place of worship, connecting the earthly and the celestial. But alternative perspectives propose a more mystical explanation. Was Serpent Mound a gateway to the spirit world, or even a marker for ancient visitors from beyond our planet? The answers remain elusive. But standing before Serpent Mound, you can't help but wonder, what inspired its creators to leave such a monumental legacy? And what might we still uncover about its origins? Mesa Verde, cliff dwellings. Our journey now takes us to the rugged landscapes of southwestern Colorado, where the cliffs of Mesa Verde conceal over 600 stone structures. These cliff dwellings, some perched high on sheer rock faces, were built by the ancestral Puebloans over 700 years ago. Imagine the ingenuity required to construct entire villages in such inaccessible locations. The most famous of these is Cliff Palace, a sprawling complex of 150 rooms and 23 kivas, circular ceremonial chambers. It's a testament to their architectural skill and ability to adapt to challenging environments. But why build here? Many believe these locations were chosen for defense, protecting the inhabitants from external threats. Others argue that the cliffs held ceremonial or spiritual significance, connecting their people to the divine. Yet the greatest mystery of all is why these villages were abandoned around AD 1300. Archaeological evidence points to a prolonged drought, which may have made agriculture unsustainable. But could there be more to the story? Some suggest resource depletion, internal strife, or even conflict with neighboring groups played a role. And here's a question to ponder. Was their departure a desperate act for survival, or part of a greater spiritual migration? Standing in the shadow of these cliffside marvels, it's impossible not to wonder what drove these people to create such a stunning legacy, and what ultimately caused them to leave it behind. Chaco Canyon. Now we move south to the arid landscapes of northwestern New Mexico, where Chaco Canyon stands as a testament to architectural ambition and astronomical expertise. Between AD 850 and 1250, the ancestral Puebloans constructed massive stone buildings known as great houses. These multi-story structures, some containing hundreds of rooms, were unparalleled in scale for their time. Chaco Canyon wasn't just a place to live, it was a cultural and ceremonial hub. Its structures, like Pueblo Bonito, are aligned with solar and lunar cycles, reflecting an advanced understanding of the heavens. Roads radiating from the canyon suggest it was connected to a vast trade network, reaching as far as Central America. But as impressive as Chaco Canyon is, its abandonment around the late 1200s raises questions. Why would a society capable of such incredible feats suddenly leave? Mainstream theories point to environmental factors, like prolonged droughts, which made agriculture unsustainable. Overuse of resources, including the deforestation of surrounding areas for construction and firewood, may have also contributed. Yet alternative perspectives offer different angles. Some believe the canyon was primarily a ceremonial site, and its decline could reflect a shift in spiritual practices or leadership. Others speculate about the impact of regional conflicts or even external cultural influences. Standing amidst the ruins of Chaco Canyon, you can't help but ask, what drove the people here to create such monumental achievements, and what forced them to walk away? Could the secrets of Chaco still be hidden in its stones, waiting to be uncovered? Blythe Intaglios. Next, we journey to the deserts of southeastern California, where the Blythe Intaglios present a mystery best seen from the sky. These massive geoglyphs, etched into the earth, depict humanoid figures, animals, and abstract shapes. Stretching up to 171 feet long, these figures are believed to date back anywhere from 450 to 2,000 years. But here's the catch. The creators of the Blythe Intaglios remain unknown. Were they the ancestors of the Mojave or Quechan tribes? Or could they have been made by a culture we've yet to fully understand? The purpose of these geoglyphs is equally enigmatic. Some suggest they were ceremonial in nature, perhaps marking sacred sites or serving as offerings to deities. Others theorize they were celestial markers, aligning with stars or solstices, much like other ancient sites around the world. And then there's the enduring question: how were they created with such precision, long before the advent of aerial views? Was this knowledge passed down through generations, or could it reflect a deeper understanding of geometry and astronomy than we typically attribute to ancient cultures? The Blythe Intaglios challenge us to look at the past with fresh eyes. What stories do these giant figures tell, and how might they reshape our understanding of the people who once thrived in the American Southwest? Judaculla Rock. Let's head to the misty Appalachian Mountains of North Carolina, where a massive soapstone boulder, known as Judaculla Rock, sits covered in ancient carvings. This enigmatic artifact, located near the town of Silva, has over 1,500 intricate symbols etched into its surface, making it one of the largest and most elaborate petroglyph sites in the southeastern United States. The Cherokee people tell a story about this rock. According to their legend, the carvings are the marks left by Judaculla, a powerful giant who leaped across the landscape, using the stone as a stepping point. For centuries, this boulder has been a site of cultural and spiritual significance. Yet the true origins of Judaculla Rock remain a mystery. Some archaeologists believe the carvings date back more than 1,000 years, possibly created by pre-Columbian Native Americans. The symbols appear to depict hunting scenes, territorial markings, or even star charts. But what exactly do they mean? Mainstream theories suggest the rock was used as a ceremonial site or a boundary marker for local tribes. Others propose that it could have served as a tool for teaching astronomical knowledge or telling stories. However, alternative perspectives have emerged, with some suggesting these carvings might hold connections to ancient travelers or even extraterrestrial encounters. As you stand before Judaculla Rock, you can't help but feel its ancient energy. Could these mysterious markings be a window into the spiritual life of its creators? Or are they a message left by a culture we have yet to fully understand? America's Stonehenge. Next, we venture to Salem, New Hampshire, where an unusual site known as America's Stonehenge sits atop a forested hill. This intriguing arrangement of stone chambers, monoliths, and alignments has sparked debate for decades. Was it the work of early European settlers? Or does it predate colonial America entirely? America's Stonehenge features a series of rock structures that align with astronomical events, such as solstices and equinoxes. Some researchers believe it served as an ancient calendar, enabling its builders to track the passage of time with remarkable precision. The largest structure, often referred to as the oracle chamber, contains a carved opening that some suggest was used for ceremonial purposes. But the origins of this site are hotly contested. Some historians argue that the structures are the work of 18th century farmers using the stones for storage or animal shelters. Others, however, propose much older origins, pointing to similarities with megalithic sites in Europe. And then there are the alternative theories. Could this site be evidence of transatlantic contact long before Columbus? Or perhaps it was constructed by a forgotten civilization with advanced astronomical knowledge. Standing amidst the stones, one question lingers. Is America's Stonehenge a relic of colonial practicality, or a monument to an ancient, forgotten past? Whatever the answer, the site continues to capture the imagination of all who visit. Poverty Point. Our next destination takes us to northeastern Louisiana, where the Poverty Point earthworks present a prehistoric marvel. Built between 1700 and 1100 BCE, this site predates the Roman Empire and includes a series of concentric ridges and massive mounds that once overlooked the Mississippi floodplain. The central feature, known as Mound A, or the Bird Mound, rises 72 feet high and spans more than 700 feet at its base. Archaeologists estimate it was constructed in less than 90 days, a staggering feat considering the builders lacked the wheel or beasts of burden. Imagine the coordination and labor required to move and shape such an enormous volume of earth using only woven baskets and human effort. But who built Poverty Point and why? The site's creators remain unknown, but evidence suggests it was a hub of a vast trade network. Artifacts such as stone tools, clay figurines, and beads have been traced to materials from as far away as the Great Lakes and the Appalachian Mountains. The purpose of these earthworks is another puzzle. Some researchers believe the concentric ridges formed the layout of a planned settlement, while others argue they were ceremonial in nature. The layout appears to align with celestial events, suggesting the builders may have used it as an astronomical observatory or a sacred site for rituals. What drove these ancient people to construct such an ambitious complex? Was it faith, trade, or perhaps something we've yet to understand? As we explore Poverty Point, one thing becomes clear. This site holds a special place in the story of North America's ancient civilizations, and its secrets are still being uncovered today. Newport Tower. Now we travel to Newport, Rhode Island, where the mysterious Newport Tower stands as a historical enigma. This stone structure, approximately 28 feet tall and supported by 8 arches, is thought by some to be a colonial windmill. But could it be something far older? The traditional explanation dates the tower to the 17th century, attributing it to Governor Benedict Arnold, the great-grandfather of the infamous Revolutionary War traitor. He claimed the structure was used as a mill. However, there are compelling alternative theories that suggest a much earlier origin. Some researchers propose that the Newport Tower may have been constructed by Norse explorers who reached North America centuries before Columbus. Its architectural similarities to medieval structures in Scandinavia lend some credence to this idea. Others believe it could be evidence of pre-Columbian transatlantic contact by Templar Knights or other European groups. Adding to the mystery is its astronomical alignment. The windows and arches of the tower seem to align with solstices and other celestial events, suggesting it could have served a ceremonial or navigational purpose. If true, this would indicate a sophisticated understanding of astronomy by its builders. Standing in the shadow of Newport Tower, one can't help but ask, was this merely a utilitarian structure, or does it represent a forgotten chapter of exploration and settlement in North America's past? The debate continues, leaving us to wonder if we've only scratched the surface of this enigmatic landmark. Dighton Rock next, we head to the Taunton River in Berkeley, Massachusetts, where a boulder known as Dighton Rock has sparked centuries of speculation. This 40-ton rock, covered with petroglyphs and carvings, has mystified historians, archaeologists, and adventurers alike. The inscriptions on Dighton Rock feature geometric patterns, human figures, and symbols. But who created them? Theories abound, attributing the carvings to Native American tribes, Norse explorers, early Portuguese sailors, or even Phoenicians from the ancient Mediterranean. In 1680, Reverend John Danforth made the first documented sketches of the rock's carvings, fueling debate that continues to this day. Some argue that the inscriptions represent Wampanoag or other Algonquian Native American traditions, possibly as part of a spiritual or territorial marker. Others point to similarities between the carvings and Old World scripts, proposing that they are evidence of pre-Columbian transatlantic contact. One of the most fascinating aspects of Dighton Rock is how it has inspired imaginative interpretations. Could it be a record of ancient travelers, A map, or even a form of storytelling etched into stone? Standing before this enigmatic boulder, you can almost feel the echoes of the past urging us to unlock its secrets. Georgia Guidestones. In a field near Elberton, Georgia, a modern mystery rises from the ground. The Georgia Guidestones. Erected in 1980, this granite monument consisted of 5 massive slabs, each inscribed with messages in 8 different languages. But who built it and why? The inscriptions outline 10 guidelines for humanity, addressing topics like population control, environmental sustainability, and global governance. These messages sparked controversy, with some praising their forward-thinking ideals and others decrying them as sinister or authoritarian. Adding to the intrigue was the anonymity of the monument's creators. The project was commissioned by a man using the pseudonym R.C. Christian, whose true identity remains unknown. The secrecy surrounding its origins fueled countless conspiracy theories, ranging from secret societies to extraterrestrial involvement. The Georgia Guidestones also contained astronomical features, including a hole that allowed viewers to locate the North Star and a slot that aligned with the solstices. These elements suggested a deliberate effort to connect the monument to the cosmos, further deepening its mystery. But in July 2022, the mystery took a dramatic turn. The Guidestones were partially destroyed in an apparent bombing, and authorities still don't know who was responsible or what their motive was. The remaining structure was later dismantled for safety reasons, leaving behind only fragments and even more unanswered questions. Were the Guidestones targeted because of their controversial messages, or does their destruction hold another layer of secrecy? Their message endures, even as the monument itself has vanished, inviting us to ponder their purpose, their creation, and their untimely demise. Miami Circle. In the heart of bustling Miami, Florida, lies a mysterious relic of the past, the Miami Circle. Discovered in 1998 during a routine construction project, this circular formation of holes carved into limestone bedrock dates back over 2,000 years and is believed to have been created by the Tequesta people, one of South Florida's earliest known inhabitants. The Miami Circle consists of 24 perfectly aligned holes, forming a near-perfect circle. Artifacts recovered from the site include tools made from shell and bone, as well as remnants of ceremonial offerings, suggesting the area held spiritual or social significance for its creators. But what was its purpose? Some researchers believe the Miami Circle was part of a larger settlement, possibly serving as a foundation for a wooden structure or a sacred space for rituals. Others argue it might have functioned as an astronomical observatory, aligning with celestial events like solstices and equinoxes. Adding to the mystery is its preservation amidst Miami's urban sprawl. How did such an ancient and delicate site survive centuries of development? And what can it teach us about the lives and beliefs of the Tequesta people? As the only known prehistoric structure of its kind in the United States, the Miami Circle continues to captivate archaeologists and historians. Could this enigmatic site be a key to understanding the rich and complex history of Florida's earliest inhabitants? Or does it hold secrets that we have yet to uncover? Anubis Caves. Our next stop takes us to the rugged terrain of western Oklahoma, where a cluster of rock shelters known as the Anubis Caves has sparked heated debates. These caves, named after the ancient Egyptian god Anubis, contain petroglyphs that some claim resemble Old World symbols and deities. Discovered in the 1970s, the Anubis Caves feature carvings of what appear to be celestial alignments, including solstices and equinoxes. Some enthusiasts argue these markings are evidence of pre-Columbian contact between Native Americans and ancient Mediterranean civilizations, possibly Phoenicians or Egyptians. However, mainstream archaeologists caution against jumping to conclusions. They contend that the carvings are more likely to be Native American in origin, representing local spiritual or astronomical traditions. The resemblance to Old World symbols could simply be coincidental or a case of overinterpretation. Despite the controversy, the Anubis Caves continue to draw curiosity and speculation. Are they a remarkable example of indigenous ingenuity and spirituality? Or could they hold clues to a forgotten chapter of transatlantic exploration? As we peer into these mysterious caves, one question remains. What do these ancient carvings truly represent? Peterborough petroglyphs. Now we journey north to Ontario, Canada, where the Peterborough petroglyphs, also known as the Teaching Rocks, are etched into a massive expanse of limestone. This site, sacred to the indigenous peoples of the region, contains over 900 petroglyphs, depicting human figures, animals, and abstract symbols. Believed to be created over 1,000 years ago by the ancestors of the Ojibwe people, These carvings are rich with spiritual significance. Many of the symbols are interpreted as shamanic visions, representations of dreams, or guides to the spirit world. The site remains a place of reverence and ceremony to this day. But beyond their spiritual importance, the Peterborough petroglyphs also present a mystery. Some researchers believe certain carvings may encode astronomical knowledge, such as lunar cycles and solstices. Others suggest the carvings could serve as maps or records of significant events in the community's history. Adding to the intrigue, the petroglyphs were hidden for centuries under moss and vegetation until their rediscovery in the 20th century. How many other ancient stories lie hidden in plain sight, waiting to be revealed? Standing before the Peterborough petroglyphs, it's impossible not to feel a connection to the past. What messages were these ancestors trying to convey, and how much of their wisdom still eludes us today? Kensington Runestone. Next, we head to the rural fields of Minnesota, where an artifact known as the Kensington Runestone has fueled debates for over a century. Discovered in 1898 by a Swedish immigrant farmer, this 200-pound slab of greywacke stone is inscribed with runes, an ancient form of writing associated with Norse explorers. The inscription tells a tale of Norse travelers who supposedly explored the region in 1362, centuries before Columbus's voyage. If authentic, this would upend our understanding of pre-Columbian exploration in North America. However, the runestone's authenticity is hotly contested. While some linguists and historians argue the runes are consistent with medieval Norse texts, others claim the artifact is a 19th-century hoax, created by Scandinavian settlers as a nod to their heritage. Adding to the mystery, no other artifacts from the supposed Norse expedition have been found in the area, leaving the runestone's context and its story frustratingly incomplete. Whether it's a genuine relic of Norse exploration or an elaborate fabrication, the Kensington Runestone continues to captivate imaginations. Could this enigmatic stone rewrite history, or is it simply a reminder of our human fascination with the unknown? Bighorn Medicine Wheel. Our next stop is the windswept peaks of northern Wyoming, where the Bighorn Medicine Wheel perches at an altitude of nearly 10,000 feet. This ancient stone circle, spanning 80 feet in diameter, is made up of 28 spokes radiating from a central cairn, resembling a wheel. Believed to be over 700 years old, the Medicine Wheel was likely built by indigenous peoples of the Great Plains, possibly the Crow or Shoshone tribes. Its purpose remains enigmatic, though many consider it a sacred site, used for ceremonies and spiritual practices. One of the most compelling aspects of the Medicine Wheel is its alignment with celestial phenomena. Several of its spokes align with the rising and setting of the sun during solstices, as well as with certain stars such as Sirius and Aldebaran. This has led researchers to suggest it served as an astronomical observatory, helping its creators track time and seasons. Others see the wheel as a deeply spiritual symbol, representing the cyclical nature of life and the universe. Indigenous oral traditions speak of the Medicine Wheel as a sacred space for connecting with ancestors and the spirit world. Yet questions linger. Who built this high-altitude marvel, and why choose such a remote location? Could it have been a meeting place, a spiritual hub, or a marker of ancient astronomical knowledge? As you stand amid the rugged beauty of the Bighorn Mountains, the wheel seems to invite us to reflect on the mysteries of the past and our connection to the cosmos. Calico, Early Man Site. In the barren Mojave Desert of California lies a site that challenges conventional timelines of human history in North America. The Calico Early Man Site, discovered in 1942, contains stone tools and artifacts that some claim date back as far as 200,000 years. If true, this would drastically alter our understanding of when humans first arrived on the continent. However, the site has been steeped in controversy. Critics argue that the so-called tools may not be tools at all, but naturally broken rocks mistaken for artifacts. The Calico site was initially excavated under the guidance of famed archaeologist Louis Leakey, who believed the artifacts represented a prehistoric human presence. However, subsequent studies have failed to reach a consensus, with some researchers dismissing the findings as inconclusive. Despite the debates, the Calico Early Man Site continues to spark curiosity. Could it hold evidence of an ancient, long-forgotten population? Or is it a case of overinterpretation? As we explore its windswept hills, we're reminded of how much we still have to learn about the earliest chapters of human history in North America. Lovelock Cave. In the arid expanse of Nevada lies a cave shrouded in mystery and legend. Lovelock Cave. Discovered in the early 20th century, this site yielded a treasure trove of artifacts, including tools, basketry, and human remains, all linked to the Paiute people who lived in the region for thousands of years. But Lovelock Cave is also the source of a tantalizing legend. According to Paiute oral history, the cave was once home to a race of red-haired giants known as the Siteka. These giants were said to be hostile, and after years of conflict, the Paiute tribes joined forces to trap them in the cave and set it ablaze. Archaeological excavations have not confirmed the existence of giants, but have uncovered significant evidence of ancient human habitation. The artifacts, including duck decoys made of tule reeds, are considered some of the earliest examples of their kind in North America. Still, the legend persists, captivating the imaginations of those who visit. Was Lovelock Cave merely a shelter for early humans, or does it hold the echoes of an ancient and extraordinary story? As the desert winds whisper through its dark recesses, the truth remains elusive. Teotihuacan Tunnel, south of the U.S. border, near modern-day Mexico City, lies one of the most extraordinary ancient cities in the Americas, Teotihuacan. Beneath this sprawling metropolis of pyramids and plazas, a hidden tunnel was discovered in 2003, sparking renewed interest in its mysterious past. The tunnel, located beneath the Temple of the Feathered Serpent, stretches nearly 340 feet and leads to chambers filled with artifacts, including jade statues, shells, and even liquid mercury. Researchers believe the tunnel may have been used for ceremonial purposes, symbolizing a passage to the underworld. But who built Teotihuacan, and what was its purpose? The city, which dates back to around 100 BCE, predates the Aztecs and was abandoned centuries before their rise to power. Theories about its builders range from the Toltecs to a yet unknown civilization. The tunnel's discovery adds another layer of intrigue to this enigmatic city. Could it reveal secrets about the rulers of Teotihuacan, their rituals, or their beliefs about life and death? As we delve into its dark and ancient corridors, we're reminded of the depth and complexity of human history in the Americas. Roanoke Colony. Our journey concludes on the misty shores of North Carolina, where the lost colony of Roanoke remains one of America's most enduring mysteries. Established in 1587 by English settlers under Governor John White, the colony was meant to be England's first permanent settlement in the New World. But when White returned in 1590 after a supply trip to England, he found the settlement abandoned. Its 115 inhabitants vanished without a trace. The only clue left behind was the word Croatoan carved into a post and crow etched into a tree. These cryptic markings have fueled centuries of speculation. Did the colonists assimilate with the nearby Croatan tribe? Were they victims of starvation, disease, or conflict with indigenous groups? Or did they attempt to relocate and succumb to the harsh wilderness? Adding to the intrigue, recent archaeological discoveries suggest the colonists may have split into smaller groups, with some integrating with indigenous communities while others perished. Artifacts found on Hatteras Island and near the Chesapeake Bay hint at possible fates but stop short of providing definitive answers. The disappearance of Roanoke settlers has inspired countless theories, from the plausible to the fantastical. Was their fate sealed by natural forces, human conflict, or something more mysterious? As we stand in the shadow of their story, we're left to ponder one of history's greatest unsolved puzzles. Thank you for joining us on this journey through 20 of North America's greatest ancient mysteries. If you've enjoyed uncovering these enigmas, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Who knows what other secrets the past may hold? Stay curious, and we'll see you next time.